Chapter 34 Afterlife Ventures. The idea didn't take long to convince the rest of the party. They would use the mercurial waters pumped out from Celestia in order to wash away the sins of petitioners turned into devils and demons, and then take advantage of the renewed remains to see what they could get out of them. Hassan had originally intended to charge them, but it was soon evident that they would probably have nothing to pay with, and it was unlikely that devils and demons would willingly pay in advance to be reduced into joyous leftovers. Instead, Valanar noted they would have to aim at something else, such as the pledge offered by the one they washed earlier. Who knows, maybe they would get lucky and find a long-lost archmage or something. Rahim guessed that the waters would probably not work on particularly powerful ones, harming them rather than saving them, given that not all evil entities were originally good, some arising from evil itself. So they would have to keep their clientele on the lower tiers, which made the whole affair seem less interesting. "We are not in the business of saving souls," said Hassan. "We are in the business of making business." But just when he was about to scrap the idea, Valanar lighted up. "But there might be some willing to pay precisely for that." Valanar's plan was to get in contact with someone of power in the upper planes that would be willing to offer recompense in exchange for them saving tormented souls from the lower planes. They would create a demon-hunting brigade, snatch the wretches into Galarian, throw them into a pool of mercurial water, and hope that they don't explode or turn into goo. Of course, they most likely would have to pose as Johnny do-gooders in order to convince the guys upstairs, but that could be taken care of easily. Jack sort of forcibly volunteered, as no one else in the party wanted to get alignment change due to the fears about what that could eventually cause given their usual actions, and he was designated as the STC's heavenly ambassador. Vorgok commented over a cigar, a bottle of Talden brandy, and 3 women doing their best to massage the orphan giant. Why hadn't the angels done that themselves, given that they had a whole sea of the stuff? But with no one there to listen, and the barbarian's mind going in a totally different direction, that slight inconsistency was left in the wind. Valanar and Hassan took a leave of absence and teleported into Absalom, the greatest city in Galarian, to find people suitable to work in the demon-hunting brigade, deemed the Tactical Forgiveness Unit, but later nicknamed as the Piety Punchers. Absalom has a very particular characteristic that makes it suitable to find that sort of labor. At its center rises a massive cathedral which holds a relic known as the Starstone, a meteorite that fell to Galarian, supposedly summoned by Aboleths in order to destroy the human race, said to be able to turn mere mortals into gods. Hundreds of heroes travel to this place from all over the world in order to enter the cathedral and go through the mysterious Trial of the Starstone, which if completed would ensure godhood. Despite the high points of heroes such as Lomade and Caden Kalian, who succeeded at the trial by accident while drunk, becoming the god of ale and adventurers, most never accomplish their goal, and end up as depressed swords for hire filling Absalom's taverns and wenching houses. It took them both a week, but eventually they gathered a crowd of 20 men valiant enough to dare venture into the lower planes to capture demons, dumb enough to ask no questions, and greedy enough to do it all for bags of gold. They brought the men back with them to Saltspit, and after a day of preparation they sent them on their first mission, to capture a dozen lemures from Avernus, the first layer of the 9 Hells. Things escalated rather quickly. Though they suffered some casualties, the Piety Punchers proven to be quite effective, and soon Hassan decided to expand the operation by creating 2 additional brigades, the Godly Gobsmackers and the Saintly Stompers. Valanar figured out that if they were going to get any endorsement from the celestial beings, the whole thing would have to seem honest. So they would have to carry on with some pro bono soul cleansing for a while before trying to contact someone in order to have something to show. In 2 weeks of work, they got nearly 300 creatures cleansed. Between minor devils, demons, and some things without clear classification they found in Pandemonium, before deciding to send Jack to get someone feathery on their side. There were some tense moments when a demonic commander got involved after the brigades apparently kidnapped some of its soldiers, but nothing that a band of 60 disgruntled heroes armed with liquid goodness couldn't handle. On the side, the workers at the pumps had been reporting a marked increase in Archon sightings. Before traveling to Celestia in the company of almost 300 renewed souls, Jack had taken not one but 3 dives in his personal mercurial bathtub before embarking through the mirror to try and contact someone that would hear their pleas to help the tortured. Jack had become sort of addicted to using the liquid, washing himself with it every time he did even the slightest thing that could be deemed bad. He kept a pristine, lawful good alignment in the same way that a hypochondriac keeps his hands germ-free, by scalding them with boiling water and tearing off his own skin with industrial-grade cleaner. It was unsettling, to say the least. He roamed the lovely, puffy fields of Lunia for 2 days before being met by an angelic emissary of Cordelia, the Lady of Charity, which took him in for an audience with her mistress. Cordelia ruled from a monumental house of hospitality, where wounded angels from the blood wars were tended by the kindest of petitioners, whose hands could wash away all weariness, pain, and disease. Or at least that's how it used to be.